need to serve. They don't need to cheer. No one's talking to you. She's talking to me, okay? I haven't started. Your team is chanting. I'm too old for these mind games, okay?
Belinda Bencic was serving and up a set. For command of the game. She had momentum. She was experienced. She had everything is going well for her. Then she chose to make accusations against Coco Gauff and her group that engages in mental games. Instructed them to quit talking. Claimed she was too old to do this. What took place after that? Bencic was severely defeated. And the internet hasn't stopped talking concerning it.
Bencic and Gauff getting into a bit of an altercation during that changeover, and Bencic accusing Gauff's team of cheering when she's beginning to serve. Bit of niggle there.
Yeah, it was quite a heated exchange, the changeover.
Prior to dissecting this, do you believe that Bencic truly felt, was she simply irritated, or was she disrespected? And trying to find someone to blame? Let go. Please share your opinions in the comments section below. Okay, let's discuss what transpired. In the China Open in 2025, due to this Coco Gauff and Belinda's match, Bencic was meant to be about tennis. It became an entire soap opera.
It was a little tempter for Gauff, and she met it.
And we know with you, Elliot, that you can't drop shot against Coco Gauff. She's always there, and most of the points she's winning whenever opponents are drop shotting against her. She's too quick.
Yeah.
Well spotted again from Gauff.
Especially on a hard court with the bounce as well.
Yeah.
September 29th was the date. The China Open's fourth round in 2025 Beijing. The defending Coco Gauff champion and third in the world was facing the 15th-seeded Belinda Bencic, who has been returning with inspiration following maternity leave. On paper, this was going to be a fantastic match. Two skilled athletes competing against one another, and it was for a time. Bencic emerged firing. She won 5 games in a row to win the opening set 6-4. She was having trouble serving. She had already included a number of double flaws. Things were looking rough for the American. Next was the second set. And that's when everything went sideways.
Not sure what is complained about from Bencic. Probably from the reaction after the point, I think, from Gauff's box or the fans.
In the second set, at 2-3, Bencic was serving. She remained angry. She was in a favorable position. She only needed to maintain the pressure and hold serve. Rather, she made a poor drop shot that Coco pursued and transformed into a winner. The audience applauded. Coco's group cheered. Bencic also lost her mentality. She began pointing at Coco's player box, instructing them to keep silent, claiming that they were applauding before she served. She likened them to children under 12. Tennis players. Next, she stated something that was widely reported in the media. She ordered Coco's group to stop talking. Now, this is the problem. The stadium was almost completely empty. There was hardly anyone present. Thus, each sound was enhanced. Each applause reverberated. You could hear the players from both teams cheering them on. Obviously. Coco's reply, the stadium is empty. It has been so courteous. At that point, Bencic exacerbated it even further. She brought her the chair umpire began to get complaints, claiming that Coco's group was being disruptive, that they were applauding as she prepared to serve. She uttered, "Once the point is made, it's not issue. I don't mind. However, when I'm ready to serve," they headed to the line. Coco attempted to say, "Don't need to cheer," something. Made an effort to protect her team and Bencic yelled at her. "Nobody is speaking to you. She is conversing with me. All right, I have not yet begun. Your group is conversing. I'm too old for these mind games, okay? Too old to play mind games. That's what she stated to a 21-year-old who was only attempting to play tennis. Come on.
But it's interesting from Bencic to go on about it when she's on the move, she's on the run, she's setting 4-3 up, and she's having a bit of a momentum to just not kind of leave it. And
the video instantly went viral. Individuals couldn't accept what they were observing. An Olympic gold medal from 28 years ago, a medalist informing a Grand Slam winner that she is too old to be here. Losing. You are aware of what Coco stated in reply. Some reports state that she gave her the ideal clapback. The mind games are being played by you. Mic drops. However, this is where remorse enters the picture. Due to right after this entire conflict, Bencic was able to break the serve from Coco. She went from 4-3. For an instant, it appeared to be her outburst had succeeded, as if she'd gotten in Coco's brain. And Coco admitted this during her news conference. She stated immediately following that, I was irritated by 3 doubles. 3-2 mistakes in a single game. That's how she was shaken. However, something moved. Coco claimed to have just told, all right, I don't want to lose, she said. After this point, she gave in. Down. She concentrated and turned her turning annoyance into gasoline. In the meanwhile, Bencic continued to complain. She continued to visit the chair umpire. She continued to allow the she is always thinking about the situation. Moreover, while she was occupied with her anger, Coco was actively gaining points. The second set was to a tiebreaker. Coco won it 7-4. After that tiebreaker, Bencic was so irritated that she broke her racket on the floor. That was basically the match, correct? Mentally, Bencic was finished. It wasn't even competitive in the third set. Coco went through it 6-2. Final result, 4-6-4, 6-2, 7-6. From having a set with all the energy in the planet, Bencic managed to lose the match by picking a fight that wasn't necessary. That's what sudden remorse is all about. Rennie Stubbs, the former world champion in doubles, top-ranked and current tennis commentator, had the perfect interpretation of what transpired during her podcast. She uttered, if you're winning a game and you're in a winning position, which Bencic was upset at that point, and in the second set, you simply need to go play, she continued. You should avoid adding fuel to someone's fire, especially someone like Coco, to encourage her to fight in combat, as she did in that second set. That's just what happened. Bencic started a fire under Coco. She provided her an excuse to be upset, given her a cause to strive for beyond simply triumphing in a tennis match. Coco she acknowledged this herself. She stated, guess I can play sometimes a little bit better when I'm irritated. Belinda, congratulations. You're irritated she beat you after that. Let's now discuss the fallout of the press conference was almost as fascinating as the actual game. when Coco took a seat with the media, described what transpired with her viewpoint. She claimed that she didn't truly pay attention to whatever Bencic stated throughout the game. Her group had to inform her later. Yes, I did know her. Spoke to my team, but I didn't know precisely what. Coco clarified, they told me she told me to shut up. I didn't hear it, thus I'm limited to using what they said. She went on, I suppose their applause infuriated her. For you hear me because the stadium is quiet. Both sides. Coco then clarified that she would not overlook this completely. I was telling her, she added, to show consideration. I've been kind to off-court with her team. We have been cordial with one another. That simply didn't sit well with me. Remark directed at my team. Notice how she was calm. She didn't get aggressive. She didn't disparage Bencic. She simply outlined the facts. She claimed that she didn't enjoy the remark, but she also admitted that they had moved on after that. After that, we went on. I haven't talked to her ever since. She has the right to how she felt, and I have the right to reply. That's maturity. That's managing a circumstance such as an expert. She is 21 years old, and she is more adept at managing drama than most people who are twice her age. However, this is the section that truly demonstrated Coco's character. Despite everything, she continued to regard Bencic as a participant. Clearly, I have a lot of respect for Belinda. She is a fantastic player returning and doing admirably tennis as a mother. Of course, I hope today didn't occur, but it is what it is. She hoped it hadn't occurred. She's not gone. Here, we are honoring the drama. She's not attempting to incite conflict or rivalry for clicks on social media. All she wants is to go and play tennis. That's the distinction between an individual who is devoted on triumphing and someone who received preoccupied with their own annoyance. Let's now examine how the tennis world and the followers responded due of social. This caused the media to go completely berserk. If she didn't complain, I can't believe she wouldn't have won this match. With her. She ought to have prevailed. Here. Another said, she went on to losing this game. By the way, if you've complained to the chair umpire. The mental war is already lost. Someone, yo, this is crazy, someone else said. It's never been this serious. Were some fans who defended Bencic's annoyance. They said that Coco's group was being excessively loud and that it's acceptable to be displeased with the noise during your service motion. Tennis is meant to be a calm sport. The audience is expected to show respect for the server. That's reasonable. However, this is the rebuttal. The stadium was deserted. Very few people were present. Both teams were supporting their athletes. Hearing Coco's team allows you to hear your own team as well. It's not like a sizable partisan crowd was present, especially attempting to confuse Bencic. Furthermore, even if the cheering was annoying, the way Bencic handled it made the situation worse. Telling the team of your opponent to stop talking is not the action. A 21-year-old is accused of engaging in mental games while you're the one who's clearly rattled is not to make a move. You are aware of what the relocate. Winning the game. Considering all of that annoyance and directing it into your tennis. Champions do just that. That's Coco's actions after Bencic entered her head. In relation to champions, this victory had more significant effects on Coco than only making it to the quarterfinals. With this triumph, Coco formally won a berth in the WTA Finals in 2025. That is the tournament that concludes the season, showcasing the world's top players. It's very important, and she won it by winning a game that could have gone the opposite way. Additionally, she extended her 9-game victory streak in Beijing consecutive games. Her overall performance is currently 13 victories at the China Open and only 1 defeat. She is essentially incomparable there. During the quarterfinals, she was scheduled to take on German Eva Leis. He had just made McCartney Kessler angry. Moreover, Coco's strategy going into that game, focus on tennis, not drama. Regarding the loss hurts, Bencic, but it's a part of her continuous tale of recovery. She provided Bella, her daughter, was born in April 2024 and went back on the tour with the intention of to demonstrate that she still deserves to be at the top. And honestly, taking a set off the world number 3 and fighting like that demonstrates her continued skill. However, the contest will be educational. The mental game can occasionally be just as important as the physical game. Additionally, Bencic allowed her feelings to run wild today. The better of her. The tennis community has been discussing this occurrence continuously. The more significant query is regarding coaching and support groups in general. To what extent should they be permitted to during games? The WTA has relaxed guidelines for coaching in the last few years. Players can now get guidance from their coaches throughout transitions and in between sets. It's a component of an attempt to make the sport more strategic and captivating, but there is still a secret code regarding etiquette. You shouldn't shout stuff at some points. You're not intended to divert the other player's attention. Where is the line, I wonder? Was Coco's group going overboard? Considering all that we have saw and heard, most likely not. They were applauding after points, which is typical. The stadium was silent, which increased the volume of everything. Typical. Bencic was already irritated from missing shots, and she oversaw that annoyance at the simplest target. That is what occurs when you are losing and seeking a justification. You locate one, even if it isn't actually present. The irony of the entire circumstance is that Bencic accused Coco of playing mind games. Genuinely the one engaging in psychological tricks. She was attempting to penalize Coco's team. Or cautioned. She was attempting to make a diversion. She was attempting to toss Coco is not at her best. And it was effective for about one game. It then backfired magnificently. Coco's reaction to the whole thing was instructive. She stated the stadium was silent, so everything appeared larger than it was in reality. She minimized the drama. She wouldn't allow it turned into a feud. Without a true crowd noise, it most likely made the situation appear larger than it actually was. Coco remarked, "That's an individual's viewpoint. Recognizes that tennis matches may be hot, feelings can be intense, and people occasionally say things that they might regret. She doesn't harbor resentment. She's not intending to exact retribution." The players shook hands and moved forward. Following the game, they were at the net. Friendly. Whatever transpired during those, they left it on for 2 hours and 31 minutes. The court, but the internet doesn't. Additionally, I'm too old for Benic's. These lines of mind tricks will come next. Spending some time with her. Each time she plays Coco in the future, individuals are going to discuss it each time fans are complaining about everything. To make reference to this contest. This is the cost of losing your composure on a large stage. The cameras are constantly rolling, the videos become popular, and the worst times are perpetually replayed. This is simply another occurrence, Coco. Chapter in her development as a performer and a well-known person. She has been coping with examination since the age of 15. She has received criticism for everything. From her temperament to her service to her style selections. She has mastered the ability to manage the limelight more skillfully than most. Even though she is only 21, she has years of career ahead of her. Grand slams to prevail, rivalries to manage, disputes to endure. If she continues to deal with them the manner in which she handled this one, she will be all right. As for Belinda Bencic, her comeback is ongoing. She's a gifted gamer who erred during the intense. The nicest thing is that competition does occur. All she can do is grow from it and move on. However, let's face it, the immediate remorse was clear that she was winning. She chose a struggle. The mental struggle was lost by her. She learned a lesson after losing the contest. That will be with her for tennis is a solitary activity, thus you're out there by yourself. You must control your feelings, your vitality, and your attention on your own, and when you allow your opponent to enter your mind, or even worse, when you lose yourself in your own thoughts, the outcomes are self-evident. Coco, this match was won by Gauff, but more crucially, she prevailed in the story. Maintained her composure while defending her team. She performed better without being petty. When she got irritated, she strolled, leaving a tournament with yet another victory. Belinda Bencic acquired a difficult lesson. Avoid poking the bear, especially when the bear is 21 years old, Grand Slam victor who performs better when she's angry. That's the complete explanation of what transpired between Coco Gauff and at the China Open. Belinda Bencic accused her of playing mental games, lost the match, providing us with one of the finest discussed specific tennis moments. Season. Coco continues to win intermittently the court. If you liked this video, please remember to subscribe and like. Thank each and every one of